What? He irritatedly said. Are you jealous? I asked him. What? No, Hyung. I noticed he was looking around the room, avoiding eye contact with me. I slowly my way towards him, and he away slightly. He gazed up to the floor. I gently took hold of his chin, lifting it up so that he was looking at me. I couldn't help but notice the region in his cheeks and the way he nervously bit his lower lips. I can't help but think of the world. T, you are cute when you got jealous. I rubbed his cheek softly, but I'm loyal to my wife, Mrs. Jeon. I whispered the last line in his ears. Now he turned into a blush. So, shut up, Hyung. He hit my chest and ran out from there. I chuckled at his cute accent. They, it is a forced marriage, but now I am willing to with you. Sorry, but I can't let you go. I mumbled to myself. As time passed, the exchange between taekook only seemed to grow in intensely, becoming more frequent and blurred with each passing day. It's clear to their friends who have witnessed the affair between them that there is a special connection between those two despite their own oblivions. Taekook is slowly but surely feeling for each other. Taehyung always believed that his Yoongi only cares for him because of their friendly bond and didn't his feelings. However, Jungkook saw Taehyung as a kind-hearted and sensitive person who often left younger blood at his words. This led Jungkook to believe that there might be nothing more than just friendship. Overall, it seemed that Taekook is drawn together by an iris force and it's slowly but surely moving towards their feeling for each other. Thank POV. As they process, I found myself sighing more and more frequently. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about today just doesn't feel right. I can't think about. Unfortunately, that's not possible right now. In fact, I have upcoming surgery in just half an hour, and the thought of it is making me even more anxious. Hey, Tyungi, what are you doing? I heard Jimin's voice from the door. Nothing, just reading the file of the next patient. Oh, it's a big surgery. I heard that everyone is hospital is beaching this upcoming patient. Of course he is. He is the brother of the owner of the biggest company in the world. He has a brain stock and nobody wants to take a risk because if something goes wrong, the hospital has to face consequences. As an they are also part of this surgery. Yeah, not only part but the charge. However, they didn't give us any information about this past medical history of patient. Then what will you do now? Only they will arrive here. I will ask them. Okay, then let's go. They already arrive here. I nodded my head and we both walked out of the room, out to side of the operation room. I see the patient brother and mother here too. We walk towards them. Hey, when are you guys going to start the operation? He asked me. I didn't even like his tone, but I still said politely, Mr. Kang, we can't start the operation without knowledge of the patient past medical history. Where did you say? We already told you that we have a brain stroke. Why are you not starting an operation? He shouted a little, but sir, it's against our procedures. Jimin said, your procedure? Just perform surgery or do you want to lose your job? He said with a dirty smirk. I just want to push his face, but I can't. Sorry, sir, but do whatever you want. We can't perform surgery without past medical history. I confidently said. We both started leaving from there, but his words supposed us in the way. What did you think? Think about yourself, you? Just a little doctor and showing me that attitude? He angrily spoke out. His word get an attention of the other doctor, patient, and the family member. I hate it, but still, for my profession. You are standing in the hospital, but he ignored my warning and continued insulting me. Mind your word. My foot, a man, is telling me what to do. Did you even know how do you surgery or just you know how to spare your leg in front of a man? He said that last word looking at Jimin. He is insulting me in front of many people like I'm a stray dog, not a doctor. I just want to run from there or beat the out of this man. I can feel Jimin getting angry or I hold his hand and indicated to him not to create a scene, but that's a deep, continue his nonsense. I'm feeling disgusting from you. Did you know? How can you? What did you say? Stipper? Then what are you, attention speaker? I said a venom licking tone while pointing my finger at him. Before he could say anything, I continued. Of course, you are an attention speaker. That's why you creating a scene here and calling other. You know what is the most disgusting thing here is you. The one who assess his power to in strip club or maybe getting in his as a doctor. I recommend your checks your first. I said with anger. He face turned into anger. You? His words cut off a cold tone. What is happening here? The words is colder than ice which sent shiver down everyone's spine. Even Khan take came back in fear. The voice being none of other than John Jungkook. I felt happy to see him there, but a wave of realization hit me. Jungkook is also the owner of this hospital and he will do anything to save this hospital, which means he will never support me. Or why will he? He is not like I am his real husband. The smile that made its way to my lip disappeared in 1 second, and I hang up my head in low. Now every word of that man is hitting me like a brick because if today Hyung is called me in front of everyone, then they will think of me as a tear started bringing at the end of my eyes. With that fairy spring brand in me, I am ready to take down there. Who dares to support Kang expect from my Hyungi? He is the only person who I look at him like a star in my eyes. I love him so much. What happened here? He asked again, and Jimin explained to him everything. Hyun's expression is cold, eyes are dark and empty. The absence of any emotion on his face was unsettling. The last ray of hope also uncount down with Hyungi empty eyes. Now I wanted to just die or maybe cry my heart out. Mr. Kang, what Dr. Kim said, it's true. You have to submit the patient's past medical history report or we will not operate the operation. I snapped my head on his word. As I stood there in disbelief, my ear caught those words that's before tears into my eyes. It was the voice of my Hyungi. I never expected to hear support me. I could believe it, but there was no denying to his words. It's belong my heart. But I didn't complete my sentence. Mr. Kang, Hyung voice carries an icy coldness that seems to prize thought Kang's wise soul. While his pissing also being calmed down like a helpless lost puppy. Kang taken back by the sudden change in big heart's insert mouth and avoiding any further conflict. If you choose not to submit a report that is unreasonable, however, please keep in mind that I am the only doctor in the entire country who has successfully performed brain stroke surgery. If you decide to leave, no one will stop you, but please note that the patient consider is critical. After Hyung finished speaking, Kang faced so clear sign of fears. He is quickly responds, we will submit the report in 1 hour. Just please do surgery. He completely begging in front of him. We will. Don't worry. I watched it in Certain silence as the man before me, glowing out of his next word. Now applies to my husband. His voice was filled with rage, and it was clear that he meant every word. The people around us were quickly taking back, their expression mirroring my own shock as I looked back at him. I saw that his face was tinged with emotion, pure anger. It was an intense moment and one that I was sure I wouldn't soon forget. What? Kang said. The person here beside me is Jeon Tae husband of Jeon Jungkook, owner of this hospital, and well now doctor, you we had insulting like a stray dog and even treated him kicking out of his own hospital. Do you really think that you can insult him like this? Be blessed that you are standing inside this hospital and I am wearing the white coat. If not, I have already broken your every bone with my own hand. That no doctor even can fix them, he said in a deadly serious tone and held my hand. The burning ring in his eyes was witness of the pain he felt. Hearing the insult of his husband, the women in his words were proof of his care towards his husband. His clenched fist, he is screaming a single sentence that he will go through having it. For this husband, I am looking at him with a single thought. His husband is none of other than me, Jeon Tae husband of Jeon Jungkook. Applies to him before I lose my control over my anger or break your from everywhere. He grated his teeth. Kang hardly came in front of me and said, I'm sorry, Dr. Kim, for my rude behavior. Please forgive me. He is severe in fear. I have no words to say anything. I just want to him to be in his arms, so I hardly said, it's okay. I forgive you. Thank you. Then Hyung dragged me inside his cabin. There, before he could complete his sentence, I limped into his arms, feeling the familiar warmth that always made me feel at home. Overwhelmed by emotion, I didn't hold back my tears, crying like a child in his embarrassment. But I know he would never judge me before my and said, allow myself to well even through as I leaned about the hurtful words that had been spoken about me. He held me tight as if his every life depended on it. This feeling of safety and acceptance was enough, deeply knowing that I could always turn to him without fear of judgment. Jungkook baby. Taehang is standing close to me, his arm wrapped around my body as he spoke out of his frustration about Mr. Kang. He spoke in a baby voice, his words heavy with emotion. I can feel his heartbeat rapidly against my chest and my own heart is in sympathy for him. As he spoke, I can sense the depth of his heart and it filled me with anger towards Kang. He's such a pain. Thi, please don't cry. Hyung is here for you. Stop crying. If you want, I will beat the out of him. As I gazed down at him, I noticed that he was shaking his head in response to what I said. I leaned out a small thing and gently lifted his face from my chest to get a closer look. His eyes were red and puffy from crying. His cheeks flushed a deep shade of red and he let out a small sniff despite his tears. He looked adorable, almost like a cute baby. I couldn't help but smile to myself. I thought of him as my big baby as I glanced into his tears filled my eyes. My heart swelled with compassion. I reached out and gently crossed his cheeks, wiping away the salty droplets that had escaped his lungs. Leaning in, I planted a soft on his forehead and spoke in a soothing tone. Tears do not look Good on you, he chuckled at my words and said while sniffing Hyung. Did you really mean what you said outside? He said in a hopeful voice. Asan, I know it's a wrong decision, but still I dread to say the. I want to make it clear that every word I said earlier was genuine. I understood that our marriage was forced and that we may not have had the chance to develop feeling for each other yet, but I want to do everything in my power to make this relationship work. I know it's my sound selfish, but I can't bear the thought of us being apart. I truly like you and I want you to be my husband in every sense of the word. I'm not asking for love, but I'm asking for a chance to make this marriage a success. Can you please stay with me forever and give us a chance to build a strong foundation together? I value you and our relationship more than anything else in the world, and I hope you feel the same way. I expressed my feeling despite my fear or rejection, but now there's no going back. When he didn't reply, I looked at him. He was crying again. I rushed towards him and wiped his tears. Why are you crying? If you don't want to with me, it's okay. I know this hurts, but I can't do anything. No, this isn't why I'm crying. I've been worried that you might reject me or end things, but now that you be asking me, I am objects, he said between his sniff. I felt happiness inside me. I jumped into and hugged him tightly. As we broke the hug, my eyes landed on his face. It was as adorable as even with those chubby cheeks that I just wanted to sniff my teeth into those plum lips that I found myself staring at. I couldn't help but be drawn by their eh, allow. I leaned in closer, closing the gap between our lips, and he didn't back away. It was as if we were both appetite this moment. Finally, our lips met, and they felt so soft and welcoming against mine. I started to move my lips, and at the first he didn't respond, but soon enough he caught on, and we were both lost in the moment. We broke out due lot of lack of oxygen, my whole body in on fire. I looked at him. He looked sniffle. The only thought that came into my mind, I want this sniffle beauty, this lip as well, and there a dark shade of red. My thoughts, my cheeks turned red in embarrassment. I made a little sorry and ran from there. Time escaped. Young baby. 24 hours of self-therapy of convincing myself that what happened the previous day I hadn't happened at all. That all goes down the drain when I looked across the way of hospital. What stare and my eyes met in those dark ones. Among all the people in this whole hospital, my stupid eyes had decided to land on what made my tummy flip and what made the joint to my knee momently useless. Even had myself in this moment. Jungkook had been he looked at her sniffle. I tore my eyes away from Jungkook and stubbornly placed my palms against my cheeks in an attempt to hide the blush that I ignored the unholy thoughts crossing thought in my mind because his single make me a complete breathless mess. Suddenly I can feel my body turning a hot now not now, don't worry, Thang. No one going to eat me alive, but I don't mind if he does. Stop your unholy mind, Tahang. You are the hospital. I tell this to myself when I look at the first step. I frozen when I noticed Jakuk standing with some guy at the bottom of the stairs. They seemed to be in a heated conversation. The usual calmness I had seen for the first day was no longer paying across his face and was replaced by a deep frozen. My dear immediately took advantage to devour the beauty inside. Due to his black hair, I couldn't excel see his face, but that didn't stop me from admiring the rest of him. The long and thick dark circles what were gathered against his neck looked irresistible. The fold sleeve showing his veiny place colored arms looked inviting. The firmness under his black shirt was sure to keep a set of defined abs. When I looked back up to try and admiring his face again, I realized whatever conversation had been going on had stopped and Jungkook was now looking right at me, smirking at my cheek oxygen. Again, I am blushing mess. There are no turning back, you covered, I told myself as I bravely took a step down. I continued to step continuously looking. If I looked up into those dark eyes, my mind would be an unholy mess and my legs would give us under me what would be embarrassing. But then on the last two steps, trust me, the same stupid brown looked up into young, trimpy, dark ones, and just as I predict, my mind collapsed and my legs lost their gravity. Didn't waste time to take advantage of my current ineligibility at glare path of me. The skull in my thought didn't make it out when seat in hand gripped my side, keeping me from possible lifetime embarrassment. Unfortunately, those hands that I strictly repeatedly being to get too fond of. Why me? Are you okay? Maybe we should get out of Hyung, his keeper said, or maybe out of my cloth. I clapped nervously at my unnecessary and my gaze jumped to Hyung's eyes at the same time. Catching a whiff of the addicting body sandwood, my hand landed on his shoulders to keep from smash myself against him. So I decided to look at my hand instead rather than those intimidated eyes that managed to look concerned at that moment. Thanks, I nervously pushes back. I look up here from my eyes. My deep blue not out are there. Sorry, I am thinking about something. I remembered. I wasn't, but it was not like I could explain why I was a feel all of sudden. And then really hit on me that we are too close on and eyes live on each other, and it would be so easy to just lean for one hand.